Jesus was traveling with his guys one time, called the disciples, or the later to become the apostles. And they were traveling from one place to another. And he went way out of his way to go meet a woman at a well. He goes all the way through Samaria, which is this neighboring country where really the Samaritans and the Jews didn't get along. The Jewish people, which Jesus was part of that culture, really didn't get along with him. They didn't think very much at all. As a matter of fact, they hated the Samaritans. And because the Jews hated the Samaritans hated the Jews. But Jesus goes out of his way. He travels way out of his way from route to route to make it to this woman at a well. And he meets her. And she's this downcast woman who's been crumpled up and thrown away multiple times in her life. And he meets her in the middle of the day at the well when nobody else was there. He was sat down and waited in the middle of the day, in the heat, in the Middle East, in the desert, for this woman to come to the well so that they could be there at the same time, so Jesus could ask her some questions and give her some answers. And they kind of have this exchange. And in the end of the exchange, Jesus gives her what she's looking for. She comes looking for water, but Jesus gives her a different kind of water. She's looking for water to, quench her thirst, because nobody likes to be thirsty, to wash her clothes, to wash the dishes, to wash the dust off of her feet, or wash her hands before eating. But Jesus gives her a different kind of water that washes her and quenches a different type of thirst. He offers her what he calls living water. And, after this exchange that they have, this living water being, I could give you the real thing that's going to quench this real, very real thirst inside of you that is not quenchable with anything else. No matter, what kind of thing you try to fill it with, you can't ever get rid of this God-shaped hole that's in your heart. There's only one thing that can quench that thirst, that can fill that opening, that void that's in your heart. And after she leaves him, knowing now who he is, she runs through the town that she lives in yelling, "Come see a man who told me everything that I ever did. Could he be the Messiah?" And the people respond back after a little bit, because they're like, "Oh my goodness, who is this guy? We want him to stay with us." And they see him do these things and listen to what he has to say. And they say back to her, "Now we believe, not just because of what you said, but because we've seen it for ourselves." This woman at the well who has these questions, is your well any better than the one that our fathers dug? Is what you have any better than what I've had before? Is this spiritual experience that you're offering me any different than what we have, than what my father tried, than what my family tried? Is it any different? And the answer to that is yes. Jesus says, if you only knew who you were talking to, you would ask him and he would give you living water. So the question is, like this woman at the well, have you met the man who can tell you everything you ever did and still want to offer you living water? Who can still offer you, even though he knows everything you ever did, this cure to the insatiable desire inside of you that cannot seem to be quenched with anything else? The question is, have you met the man? Come and see a man who told me everything that I ever did. He's the Messiah. Be blessed.